for joining us today, October 30th, 2024, for helpful news, commentary, and of course, answers to your crypto questions. We'd love to hear what those questions are, whether you're curious, you're concerned, you're skeptical about blockchain. This is the place for you. No such thing as a dumb question. And look at this. We've even got a cute jingle.
Good morning, the Rise Up Morning Show.
Got the jingle. We've got night driving. All that's missing today is Will, huh?
All it's missing.
President
That's
business,
all right.
doing his business things.
We'll get president business tonight.
That's right. Tonight, if you are unaware, is Rise Up After Dark. The Rise Up Morning Show is live 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Unlonely, even if you're hanging out there. Hello. And Wednesdays is when we do Rise Up After Dark. And tonight's Rise Up After Dark, Alex, we have an illustrious guest. You want to tell him who it is?
It's Dennis.
It's Dennis.
It's Dennis. We are lucky enough to be joined by Dennis Porter, who made his name at first just making content over on Twitter about Bitcoin. He was a general fan, and he has progressed all the way up to penning and passing legislation in 5 different states now.
Yeah, 5.
To protect the rights of self-custody and all sorts of stuff. So
It's
very excited to get him.
It's pretty cool. I heard him in one interview say, you know, he recommends that people spend several years learning about Bitcoin before they talk about it, so they can avoid making the mistake as they change their mind of saying something they'll regret. I've also heard him say that he's never met somebody who used to be a Bitcoiner,
It's true.
which I really, really like. I'm excited to get to talk to him because I think he's a great example of somebody who is just like I mean, he's obviously a very intelligent, articulate fellow, committed, hardworking, dedicated, but for all intents and purposes, he's like a regular guy. He wasn't some, Vitalik Buterin math nerd. He's not a guy who started off as like a silver spoon, hyper rich banker or something like that. Like, he was just a regular person who was excited about what Bitcoin could do for the world and came to crypto that way. And he is pretty focused on Bitcoin specifically, but has been a really helpful advocate. And I'm excited to talk to him, man. I think he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'll share some links in the Discord, but he runs the Satoshi Action Fund, which is just it's a Bitcoin advocacy organization. A lot of good information on their website, and then I know he's involved in a couple other things, and he basically just travels and talks to people and talks about Bitcoin, which sounds like a hell of a job to me.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it though? So Dennis, call us. There's somebody else I was listening to on Unchained just released a fantastic episode that's like the election special. If you're not hip to the Unchained podcast, or you're new to our show, it's my favorite podcast. And they go down the different committees in the House and Senate. They talk about kind of who heads those committees now, who might head those committees if they win an election. They talk about everything somehow very concisely. And there was the guest on there. She's been on a number of times. Kristen, her name is escaping me. I'll look it up for you, Alex. But she was saying how she works at a company.
Politician?
No. This is a crypto woman, not okay. Kristen Gillibrand. This is like a crypto, like gotcha. One of us.
Okay.
And she works at a company kind of like the Action Fund. And she was saying how in the last 4 years or whatever, they might get 1 or 2 calls from Congress people. But then this year, almost every week, they've had 2 or 3 calls from somebody who's running for office somewhere asking, can you sit down with me and just talk to me about, blockchain, crypto, why it's good for the US, what I should be concerned about, what the voters are thinking. And I was like, oh man, I gotta put Alex in touch with this person.
No,
that
for
sounds
sure.
like a dream job.
There's it's cool to watch. I do want to remind people of a couple things, of course, as we get up here. One, Evan, I know your videos were approved to go live? You're staying with crypto stuff, so those
Approved,
those
but
will
not
be
by
kind
TikTok. Both of my videos got taken down for violations, so I think I have to re-upload them again and see. I don't do a lot of brand stuff on TikTok anyway. Not to get into your point.
interesting. What did
Watch
they
out.
flag it for?
Community guidelines violation, and that's it. So I
the classic.
appealed it. We'll see.
Dude, fucking bearish on TikTok. Yeah, they sent me. Well, and one thing I don't know if you noticed, but there was like a link in the caption, which you can't do.
You can't do link in caption?
I think they're going to flag it for that.
You know, I am pretty sure I've done links in caption before for other things. I'll have to check it out.
At any rate,
anyway,
the cool part about watching this whole kind of like political shift, especially in the US, is just sort of the realization that like, hey, this isn't like some little fad, and now it would behoove everyone in office to like at least know what they're talking about. Honestly, whether or not you're in support of it or not, you should at least know what you're talking about. And it's just like really obvious when you listen to people like my favorite little old Brad. When you hear him talk about it, you can tell he has no idea what he's talking about. And it's interesting because there are very few, if actually I'm struggling now to even think of one like staunch opponent to the idea of allowing, for Web3 innovation, who speaks about it as if they genuinely get what's going on. Like, I think Elizabeth Warren might be the closest to having sort of a vague idea, but I think she's just like so hyper tunnel visioned on like one bad. Not that I want to cut her any slack, but if I try really hard to like give her the benefit of the doubt for 3 seconds, I would imagine it's sort of just like, you have only had one experience with a car and you got carjacked, and then as you were thrown out of yours, you got hit by another one. And like, that's the way that she looks at crypto. She probably got rug on a meme and then just decided the entire industry needs to burn. And
yeah, it does seem personal.
No, it seems so personal. And that's the weird part. Like, usually now the two big disclaimers, or the two big exceptions to this rule I'm about to put out there, are literally TikTokers and politicians. Usually people like learn and they progress, like as they go through life, they like acquire new knowledge and new skills, and then they adapt, and it's okay to change your mind and start talking about something differently and whatever. That's probably one way I would disagree with Dennis. I think everyone should be talking about Bitcoin all the time, and then you just like have to be willing to learn new stuff and change your position, whatever. Elizabeth Warren is not one of those people, which is very unfortunate. It really seems like the longer it goes, the opinion stays exactly the same. And I just wish that it would update. It's time for an update, and that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, what do you say? We got a couple questions rolling in. You want to get to some of our questions, and then let me let everybody know to frame your questions. Today is our 200th episode here on TikTok. It has been what is it, like a year and a half it took us to get to 200 on TikTok? I don't know. It seems like it, but
you and I were talking about this. This is like the official 200th that has
the
also
official
gone to
200th.
YouTube. Of course, we've done about 3,000 live streams in our day.
We did several hundred Rise Up morning shows before this one, and then several Rising Up pod. I mean, we've been doing this for a minute. But congratulations and welcome to the 200th show. How exciting is that?
Very exciting.
So we're going to be giving away a special claimable called a POAP later today. It's a type of non-fungible token, so it's a total Web3 thing. If you've never done a POAP before, it's a lot of fun, and I wanted to say that to prep you. You can go to POAP. You need an app to claim this. You're only going to be able to get it for 10 minutes. We used to have a bot that made claiming it easier, and we're working on bringing the bot back. But for now, what you need is you need to go to POAP, POAP.xyz. I can put it up on the screen, and maybe Alex, you can drive it up over here or something like that. But you will download their app. It's free, and then it's free to claim POAPs. If you miss this one, don't fret. You can get the next one. I'm going to be dropping a secret word that you will enter like a password into their app in a little over an hour. So you got plenty of time if you need to go navigate away. You won't miss anything super important. Their website looks like this, POAP. When you get there and install it, it'll show you all your POAPs, and you just kind of tap this little, oh my God, I'm right in the way. You just tap this little button down in the bottom right corner that says Mint, and then it'll list all these options. You can hit secret word and type in your secret word exactly as I say it to you, and you'll click claim, and you'll get a free little POAP. It'll be just fantastic. It's yours to use however you want. You can sell it, you can trade it, you can cherish it forever. It proves you did a thing. And
No, they're super cool.
We would love to have you in the audience of our POAP holders, because
We've got a bunch. We've got a bunch of different POAPs that have popped out over the years, and massive shout out to people who have any of them. Especially
honestly, truly. Multiple. Yeah, some people have some OG POAPs. The first POAP we issued was for the Faceless Many for our meeting in the spatial world for the gala, the TFM gala. That's right.
That thing was awesome.
So you go to poap.xyz, you download their app, and then you can start claiming POAPs. You just open your app up when you hear the secret word, you tap the Mint button, and then boom, put it in, you got one. If you need a little more help, we can show you in the Discord. I've got a couple more instructions there. That is not on the screen. I'm so sorry. Let me throw that up. Discord.gg/themany. That is our Discord. You can also find it at the link in either of our bios. We are never going to message you first. We're never going to send you anything from another account. If you want to contact us, you got to get in touch with us. The best way to do it is a Discord server. Discord.gg/riseup. Where the show lives 24/7.
Doug,
okay.
I see you asking about whether or not we know a team, but I scrolled back. I don't know which team you're asking if we know.
Maybe he means the POAP team. We do know some people at POAP.
We do know people at POAP, yes.
The question, I said, man, I said we were going to ask questions. Yes, we do know the POAP team. If you have an idea like that, and I was trying to get our friend Machiste to build something similar and competitive that POAP has refused to do for a while. So, the competition is there.
It's there.
Definitely
there are things that could be done.
Alex, one of our friends in the show in the audience said that they've seen an increase in airdrops as election cycle gets closer, and they specifically noted a meme coin called MAGA 2024. They said, I've never heard of it. I've never seen it anywhere. What should I do about it? How are they going to tell if it's a legitimate airdrop? And if they get it, I mean, what would you do? I just dropped a weird token in your wallet and you're scared to touch it. How do you go about making sure it's safe?
Yeah, so the easiest, I mean, generally, I can't even tell you how many airdrops I've received. I just pretend they don't exist. I would treat any token that arrives in your wallet the exact same way that you should treat an email with an attachment on it that you didn't ask for or you're not sure where it came from. Just pretend you didn't get it. If it's important, if it's valid, whoever sent it to you will publish the fact that they did it. No legitimate airdrop goes unmentioned. And there are things all over social media. So I would definitely, whatever it is, look it up on Twitter to start and just kind of see if anyone else is talking about it. Meme coins are kind of it's an iffy one. I would err on the side of caution personally and not interact with it. And by interact, I mean, don't try to go in and send it somewhere. Don't try to sell it. Usually that ends up, the way that they would attack you that way is essentially getting you to sign a transaction to sell the thing. And this token is written in such a specific way that the permission you would have to enable when you sign that transaction just lets them take other stuff, things that you don't want them to take, drain your wallet, all that sort of horribleness. But honestly, a lot of the times too, meme coins just sort of want more holders. They want to artificially inflate their holder count. So they just take a bunch of wallets, usually people who hold a different meme coin or something else that they're able to track and get a wallet list. And they'll just airdrop it out so that they can say on Deck Screener that they have 20,000 holders. Yeah. So they're often not malicious, but it's like junk mail. This is the wallet version. This is the crypto version of getting spam.
Yeah, and depending on what you interact with on chain, you are more or less likely to get certain types of this. The example we like to use lately is our friend Dave got a Solana Saga phone, and so his wallet address for that phone is notorious with Solana meme coin distributors. They're like, oh, we want to airdrop our tokens to Saga phone holders. If you're particularly active in, I don't know, an NFT community or somewhere else, you have a wallet that's easy for people to find, then it's not uncommon to get meme coin drops. So just like Alex said, treat with caution, just don't touch it. I don't know if you're hip to this drama that's unfolding in our comments, but Will is conducting business live in TikTok live in our comments, and his suggestion is burn it like a witch.
Oh, the airdrop?
Yeah.
Possible.
It is possible that it was a witch, and you should.
I honestly like if I'm thinking of like worst case scenario, literally just pretend it doesn't exist. I don't even like to transfer it.
Yeah, well, you now Will and Machiste, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or in the future, you're missing the TikTok comments where Will and Machiste are going back and forth and quoting Monty Python. I do want to highlight this from Machiste though, because I don't think you're on the stream, Alex, when Will was showing us his Quickster costume and his glasses.
Yes.
Machiste says that was the exact moment I knew, and I called the top that day. I think that might have been the top signal was Will's Quickster glasses.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Put those bad boys away, Will.
I did hear Will say ultimate top signal, so just saying he did warn everyone.
Yeah, that sounds like a wrestler name. Ultimate top signal, like an Asian wrestler who's like making the transition over to America kind of thing.
I guess the only other point of confidence is that we've probably had about 30,000 ultimate top signals this overall cycle, whether it's the Solana summer songs or
yeah, ATV Bob, let us know if that helps. If you have more questions about it, we're happy to address. But generally speaking, you'll be cool with it if it's just hanging out there.
Are we dressing up? I am handing out confectionaries to the local neighborhood children with Meatball. Meatball's going to hang out, and as you can see,
he's thrilled about it. Yeah.
Meatball is going to help me hand out candy.
What a sweet guy.
And Evan, she's a lady.
Why do I always think Meatball is a boy? I always think Meatball is a boy.
Is the name Meatball just not feminine enough?
No, it's really not, dude. And I also often
Christina's mom is real upset about the name Meatball. You can't call her that. She's a lady.
I misgender Meatball, and I also misgender Echo in my head all the time.
The audacity.
I have a hard time keeping the sexes of Alex's dogs straight in my mind.
Well, there's a few of them.
It happens. Yeah, I'm not dressing up. I am dressing up. Well, I am dressing up. I just don't have a plan for it yet, is what I mean.
You kind of are permanently in costume, though. Like, if you just went out in your natural attire, most people would probably assume that you were dressed up for Halloween, and you could either... I feel like you're never more than one or two garments away from full-blown pirate or full-blown scarecrow.
Yeah, basically. I think I might do a pirate or the scarecrow again. I have done a real scarecrow, and it's been a lot of fun. That's been my favorite costume in recent years. I need to do something. I just don't know what I'm going to do. So if you guys have ideas that'll work, let me know. I need some inspiration. Yeah, sorry about that.
He has a concept of a costume.
Yeah. Help me out. Maybe I'll go as a POAP. I don't know. I don't know. We had a question. We had a question here that said, "Have you guys ever heard of Aurora?" And I wanted to ask that commenter, can you tell us more about it? Because
give me the headline.
And if you have a crypto question, it really helps us because we get a lot of projects, that people want to know about, to say, have you heard of Aurora, the platform on ETH, decentralizing farm ownership or whatever it is. That can sometimes be really helpful because we hear ideas all day and, we need a little something to ring the bell,
I also refuse to give you my thoughts on anything if you don't tell me your thoughts on it first. That's always my instant reply when someone asks me thoughts on whatever. It's like, what do you think?
Alex's favorite game.
You tell me.
You show me yours. I'll show you mine.
It is my favorite. No one ever shows me theirs.
Sorry, man. It sounds like a personal problem.
It's the 200th episode. What can I say?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you've got a question with context, we'd love to take it.
No context for that one.
No context for that one. Absolutely.
I hope
not.
someone joined right before I said that.
I hope they did too.
Just was like, no, this is not the live for me. Just.
Oh my gosh! I know we're off the rails early today. Wes says,
Okay,
I hope
wait.
it's gonna...
Sorry.
Go for it. Go for it. I'm just.
I was
riffing.
It
Save
just
me.
like lightning bolted into my brain that we didn't fucking talk about $73,000 Bitcoin yesterday.
Oh my god, we honestly haven't. No.
What does it tell you about what kind of like crypto people we are and how little attention we pay to the charts that I was like completely unaware until the end of the day, and I look online and I see everyone screaming about it, and I look at the chart and I'm like, oh my god, look at that.
Yeah. So congratulations, Bitcoin. We are so proud of you for hitting a new all-time high.
We are so proud.
The official all-time high was like 73,200 something, I think. I actually feel like I happened to capture it perfectly in a screenshot. I was doing a video about how to do some advanced trading on Coinbase yesterday, and I honestly, I didn't even think about it. I was like, screenshot and, doing my video, and I was like, the current price of Bitcoin is 73,200, but yeah, it hit an all-time high. What do you want to say about it, Alex? I have certainly some thoughts we can share, but none, let me defer.
So Will is in the comments. You need me. First of all, we do. Will, quit your job. What are you? You can't keep telling me about your paycheck and your health benefits all the time. Like, we can offer you nothing. So I'll send you a couple Band-Aids and a first aid kit.
We've got POAPs.
Call it healthcare. We do have POAPs. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna try to will it. There are people with money, and money is doing money things, and prices are doing price things. It was exciting. I think just because, it's kind of it makes sense, right? It's the run up to the election. You got people loading up. One thing that I know that I'm assuming Will, correct me if I'm wrong, made a video or did a whatever.
Trouble now.
There he is. Perfect. Okay. I've manifested Will.
Oh, but I don't know. Wait. Will, your mouth is moving, but we can't say something. Test. Hang on.
He's not muted. That's probably on your end.
He's not. You're not muted, but it's just very, very quiet.
Oh, I can't even hear him at all.
Keep talking, Will.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, no.
He gone. Anyway, while we figure that out, I was just going to say, I assume that Will did a video this morning. Could you guys all hear him? Okay, maybe it was just us in StreamYard.
Yeah, talk, Will. Go ahead. I got you now.
All right. Yeah, everyone in chat says they can hear me good. Can you
Well,
hear me?
now we can hear you. Yeah,
Evan,
you're good.
Evan
You're
just
good.
rugged us.
I was just salty.
You're good.
Technology.
Welcome,
Yeah,
businessman.
So, I am business. Business. As I get hit by a car. Business.
Please don't get hit by a car on
Bitcoin
the
didn't hit an all-time high. I love the optimism.
What is
So, yeah,
what
no,
is
that-
it? How close was it?
That's not the all-time high.
No, it's not the all-time high.
Let's see. Oh,
I have I've right at 74,000 on my chart. Go and look at the dates.
Yep. Timeout.
I thought our last high was 72
The
something.
date, it was March 15th. It was 15th or 14th.
Yep.
At least if you
Coin-
pull up TradingView,
CoinGecko's got
we're
it
off
at
by a few hundred bucks.
7.3.
Yeah, exactly, guys.
73737. 8 months ago, March 14th, 2024, $73,737.94. But also, I don't
This
trust
is
that because
wild.
it
What
says
did we
all
hit?
low is $67, and that's aggressively not true. Either way,
Yeah, I'll go with my Bitfinex chart, but not an all-time high yet, but we're almost there. Maybe on some charts an all-time high, but not across them yet. But yeah. So anyway, I'm just on my way. I'm on my way to work, ready to get that POAP.
Ready to get that
Did you-
POAP.
Will, did you do a?
I'm just gonna pull up my phone and be like, "Sorry, guys, my mom has cancer." Anyway, No, she doesn't. My mom's fine. No, just some kind of excuse. But yeah, no.
Did you do an ETF inflow outflow video today or yesterday? Because I know BlackRock's been scooping.
Yeah, BlackRock bought, it was something like $640 or $620 million yesterday.
Yeah.
which was massive.
Yeah, we did.
And the inflows yesterday were, I think it was right around 850 million for a single day, which is pretty cool.
Woof.
And the one thing I will say, though, is that I've noticed when the ETFs have really big buying days like that, lately it's been a sign of a relative top on the short term. And if you watch my update video, I talk about how we're finding ourselves in a situation where, you know, the odds are growing higher that we see a short-term correction in Bitcoin, but absolutely we're still well on our way to $85,000, $90,000. So, you know, will we get a correction over the next couple of days? Maybe. Will it be a correction at or around the election? Maybe, like a buy the rumor, sell the news. You know, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen in the short term, but in the medium term, through the end of this year, at least into a good chunk of December, I'm expecting pretty good things.
Well said.
It'll be
Makes sense.
good. Yeah, that's all I have to add.
Well, you know what? I do want to tell you that CME futures did hit an all-time high. Thank you very much. And also, Bitcoin dominance was not at an all-time high, but was at a high. I think people should stop using the word high in their journalistic publications that I might unknowingly read, unless we actually did set a new all-time high for the Bitcoin price. I think it should be language reserved for that occasion. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I genuinely, I don't know. I have no doubt that at some point it's going to do it, which just means that I almost never look at it. Like, I barely ever pay attention.
I also think I got an email from river.com where I buy my Bitcoin that it was an all-time high. I'm pretty sure that's what made me think that too. I'm pretty sure they use that language.
Well,
anyway,
if I change my language to match you guys, to not want to use the word high, instead of a relative high, I will say we have hit a relatively goodly place.
a goodly place. Thank you.
Yeah.
A goodly place. Relatively goodly.
A relatively goodly place. Yeah, no, I guess the River email says help your friends prepare. And I that was going to be my commentary about it, is like, okay, you know, so we're nearing an all-time high. We're expecting an all-time high. Everybody's calling it's going to be 100, 150. So what do you do about it? Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly starting to see, and I always see on days like this, extra comments from people who want to know, how do I buy Bitcoin? Is now a good time to buy Bitcoin? And I always like to remind people that it's always a good time to learn. And if you're not somebody who is already buying Bitcoin, you don't know how to buy cryptocurrency, you don't know how to store your assets securely or safely, then the best thing you can do right now is learn more how to do that. And you're in a good place. It's coming, the new all-time high. And if you want to start learning about Bitcoin, or you want to start buying Bitcoin safely, I don't know where you guys buy your Bitcoin, if you buy it in wherever you buy all your crypto, but I really do recommend something like River, Swan, or Coinbase. Easiest probably that I know to get started by connecting your bank, using your credit card, setting up and automating purchases. But also great places with good resources about what is Bitcoin, why would I buy it, how do I know it's safe? River, Swan, and Coinbase. And I don't know, what would you guys add to that? Somebody wants to learn about Bitcoin, wants to start buying it for themselves, wants to see if it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Evan, were you saying Swan?
Swan, yeah.
I don't know what Swan is.
Swan is like River, where it's like a Bitcoin specific buying solution. Bitcoiners love it. And it is oriented around low fee acquisition and safe storage of Bitcoin, self-custody.
Huh. Interesting, most interesting. Sounds relatively goodly.
It is goodly. It is goodly, though I tend to prefer
yes,
River personally.
Yeah.
You know, just
I
use your
use
experience.
Coinbase myself.
Yeah.
But so the question is, like, what advice we would give to
for all
people
those
asking that
new
question?
would-be Bitcoiners.
Yeah, I would say if you're really itching to buy a crypto and you're new, so you don't know a lot, and you're probably just going to go throw money into whatever you hear some influencer tell you, because that's what we all do before we get burned and we learn a painful lesson, is instead of doing that, go and scratch that itch by buying a stable coin and earning interest off of it, and then take a few weeks, maybe 1 week, a handful of days, any amount of time to just go and like learn some basics, right? Oh, sorry for the wind, everybody, but take the time to go and like learn some basics, learn like what is this DeFi thing? What's this DPIN narrative? What is this base thing, this Solana thing that I'm hearing about? Like answer some basic questions. In the meantime, earn a little bit of interest on your USDC. And then after, I don't know, at the very least, a few days, my God, you're not gonna miss too much. Dog, bro, like take one deep breath and then take your staple coins and, go and still make a mistake, but you'll make a mistake with a little bit more knowledge. That's what I would say. And then, set a goal for yourself. What do you want? Oh God, almost just tripped and fell. What do you want for that money? That'd be funny. What do you want? What do you want with this money? Do you want it to be retirement fund money? Are you trying to buy a car? If so, if it's retirement, just buy Bitcoin. If you're trying to buy a car, go and dive into your altcoin. So do those two things. That's what I'd say.
Well said. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, just I think it's super natural. We can shit talk the process all day long. That when prices rip, new people pay attention, and then it begets the question like, oh shit, like should I buy something right now? I don't like to tell anyone like when to buy anything, or when not to. But I will say that if you're looking at something when prices are going up, a good general rule of thumb is the more green that something is and has been as you look to buy, the smaller your like tolerance needs to be before you start taking profit on stuff. So like I've definitely bought things in the climb. I've definitely seen something, explode and gone up and whatever, and still made the decision to purchase something. I just always like, okay, if I'm buying a big ass green candle right now, I'm happy with a 10% return. And then I'm going to sell a bunch and I'm going to, take profit and wait for it to go down. You can still like catch a minute of it. So all I mean is you just got to kind of be fluid as you're looking at these things and sort of, adjust targets realistically. Don't, like Will said, don't listen to someone who's just trying to sell you exclusively the pie in the sky idea that like, yeah, it's going up, but it's going to do at least 10x from here. Like, no, probably not. It's never a great idea to like bet the farm on something on the rise and then not be willing to take it off the table if you happen to have not gotten the exact top.
Yeah, the number one mistake I see those people making is only paying attention when the price is up and only buying when the price is up, and then kind of trying to sell or getting discouraged when the price is down. Crypto assets, even Bitcoin, are much more volatile than a lot of other stuff you're used to.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Like it makes sense. We get it. Prices exploding create a lot of buzz on social media, and that prompts people who generally aren't paying attention to look at buying something. Those are the people who get burned every time. So just don't let it be you.
Yeah. Well said.
Yep, exactly. Don't let it. If you're here, we're going to try to help you not be other people's exit liquidity, but it's going to be hard to avoid for most new people getting in because you're getting in at a bad time. So hopefully you can find a few good people to help direct you.
Yeah, and I would say not even that it's a bad time, but you're getting in at a bad time to spend all your money right now when everything is very expensive, relatively
honestly,
speaking.
right now is not a bad time to be getting into altcoins. It's just like would have been better a while ago. You're still in a really good position to profit because Bitcoin is just about to find price discovery, and that's the cusp of when altcoins start to do well. But guys, I'm right outside my client's office, so I have to go now.
Your client's office on the moon? How far away did you park, man? I love that comment.
I don't have a car. I haven't owned a car for 7 years, dog. I live in Boston. I don't need one.
Well, hey, man, thanks for making time, President Business, and go business, make lots of money, have lots of fun, be safe, and we'll catch you soon. Don't forget your PO app in business. 45 minutes.
Okay, bye business.
Hey, man. So there's one of our friends in the audience is talking to me about Chainlink, which I'm just kind of poking around. So if you can give me any more like context to like look up this news story or whatever that you're talking about, the speculation here is that Chainlink is the next like leading big cryptocurrency. And I would like to toss in a little bit of conservatism into that conversation as we progress here, just to mix up the flavor a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Chainlink is a really solid project. They're about as solid comes. However, I've maintained that Chainlink has a vested interest in not exploding because it is a hyper utilitarian token that gets used by tons of people all the time for like business. And it's not in their best interest to be extremely volatile, which is why if you look at it over the course of the last how many years, it's relatively stable. And it's interesting. To echo Kirk here, I actually know several people who work at Chainlink Labs, including one of the original 8 employees who helped build that project when it first got started, when they were just a little project with a Discord trying to get some attention on their whole shtick. He's someone who will definitely be on the show at some point. He's a hard guy to nail down. So I'm just not stable is good, right? Because it's a utilitarian token that people want to use to do stuff. You have to use Link to use Oracle services that Chainlink provides, and they are connected with everything. They are integrated with everything. So one thing that I will tell you is don't read a headline about Chainlink getting a new partnership and then like bet the farm that it's going to absolutely explode. It's one of those things. I don't know. I just always try to caution people against like I said, betting the farm on a single news headline.
Well, and I would just say it's already big. Chainlink, I think when people ask me about its value and will it go up, I say, yeah, it's been more valuable in the past, and it might go to an all-time high or surpass it. It might become speculative and volatile again, but I think Link is one of those companies that is actually, for our space, appropriately valued. There was a really great paper that came out a while ago talking about like what is the actual value of a layer 1 network in terms of the fees they generate, the activity, the volume, and is it necessarily what their token is worth. There are so many crypto companies whose value does not even come close to what their price is. And so a lot of them are up and then down because that's not what the company's worth. They don't even have a product. Link has a product. It's got partnerships. It's got services that justify its price tag. And I actually think its price tag, I do think it'll become a more valuable company in the future. Machiste was the one who said they integrated with Swift, so they're chugging along, but I don't know. I think they've kind of reached escape velocity for the hype cycle. I'm seeing all these comments just blowing in. What are people saying?
So yeah, just to rapid fire a few things, Mike. I'm not sure I follow the logic because it really depends. I don't know exactly how every single utilitarian platform out there scales cost accordingly, like as things go up. I just mean in general the concept that as something becomes more expensive, in general, as something becomes more and more and more of like an investment target, it just becomes harder and more expensive to acquire any of it to hold to use for stuff.
Yeah, I don't think the price goes down in Link, even if the price goes up in dollars. Like I think what Machiste is saying is like something that costs 3 Link now, when Link is worth more dollars, will only cost 1 Link. But if you're a Link validator, I mean, yeah, I guess you care about dollars, but that's the whole point of using a coin to cover the cost of your network is like, nah, man, that's 3 tokens. I mean, it's measured in Gwei or it's measured in Link or whatever.
It's gas logic in general, right? Gas fees on Multiverse X are 0.4 zeros and a 3 eagled, whether eagled is $20,000 or $1. Solana, it's 0.005 Sol or whatever it is, regardless. With regards to, was it Mateo 16, the one who I think, you talked about Chainlink that prompted this. I wasn't trying to imply that you specifically are just superficially reading a headline. That was just sort of like a general statement. I have no doubt that you do lots of reading and all that good stuff. That's not what I was trying to imply. Whisper, that's an easy one. I don't like Pulse Chain at all.
Yeah.
I have
But
zero
did
reason
you
to
see
hate
the
them
meme
for it.
name? He keeps throwing down different. They have.
know.
I hate Pulse Chain, but if they've got meme coins called Scuba Steve and 9 inches, I might have to buy some hex. Can you believe that? Could you believe a world where that happened? I would go to that dark place just to gamble on Scuba Steve.
Aztec, what the hell is the banana zone, my friend? What on earth does that mean?
Oh my God, where our show is unhinged today. Where are you seeing this banana zone?
Well, he said Raul Paul says that Dogecoin is nearing the banana zone. Like, what the hell does that mean?
Raul Paul, are you okay?
I am seeing so much Dogecoin stuff.
Oh yeah,
again,
dude.
like, so my blanket disclaimer for Doge is that it is the meme. It's the meme of memes. It's one of the few that has achieved staying power, where it's like it's rug proof. As far as we graded it on an After Dark episode once. I have zero issues with it. The way that it launched, I think, is valid and respectable.
Yeah, and
all that
somebody
good
give me
stuff.
a price check on it, because I don't.
17?
Is it 17? Oh, okay. The other day I saw it and it was still 10 cents. It kind of, Doge is one of those that you could probably do some swing trading on, because it tends to range between about 10 and about 15 or 17. And I was thinking about picking some up while it was at 10 cents, because I just think we're at that point in the cycle where stuff is going to start to lift as Bitcoin takes off. And, I was like, oh, Doge is definitely going to do it. I would not be surprised at all if Doge went back to 50 cents or 75 cents or even higher. Would it surprise you? It wouldn't surprise me.
No, it wouldn't at all. That's what I was going to say. Just the thing to remember with Doge is that don't look at it, so much as like an investment. Like be a little bit more willing to take profit off the table. Is there the potential that it could rip? I think absolutely. It's done. What's its all-time high? Like 70 something cents. So
I might even be 80. Might even be closer to $1.
It was. I know it did not hit $1, but I know that it did not hit one. It was up there. This is one of those reasons. Not every crypto is created equal. Okay, like if we're looking at Bitcoin and we're looking at Dogecoin, two extremely different kinds of cases, and the way that I would approach getting any of it or holding any of it are completely different.
Yeah.
So don't I know that they look all the same because we buy a lot of them on the same exchanges. You do the exact same thing to acquire them. They are both just like swap dollars for this thing. They are all wildly different and they behave in different ways. It's not like that's one of the big differences between buying crypto and buying stocks. Stock is all the same. The underlying company is its own thing, and people sort of understand that and accept that. But crypto is similar in the sense that the underlying project is the thing that drives its potential. But not every crypto has the same potential to increase or decrease in value that everything else does, because they're all built differently. They do different things. And yet we kind of look at them all as being the same thing, as just being a new kind of stock in a new kind of company. And that's not accurate. So if you're looking at Doge, know that it can absolutely go up many, many times higher than it is right now. It's done it before. But also it can drop precipitously with way less warning and for way less of a reason, because that's essentially what it's for. It is just for speculating. It doesn't do anything else. So just kind of remember that. Maybe be a little bit more willing to take it off the table if you get some and you find yourself in profit. I would be perhaps a little bit more aggressive with that than I would with Bitcoin. Like if I miss a Bitcoin pump, I'm not upset about it because I know I'm holding it for years.
Okay. We have a lot of questions rolling through, and I've taken note of several of them. I'm going to read them out and let you pick which one you want to go to. The first one is, what the hell is going on with ETH? Because it seems like the answer is nothing. The second one is, have we heard about Aurora on Near? It's an EVM thing, and it sounded like it could be interesting. And then, whoa, damn it, asked us a really good question. Thank you for repeating your question, by the way, about what is the advantage for Solana to having a stable coin in their ecosystem.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna be real with you. That one's the most interesting for me to talk about, followed by the ETH one, because I know nothing about Aurora, but I wanted to see if you knew. What do you think?
Never heard of it.
Okay, then tell us, Alex, why would Solana want to have a stable coin? Like, what advantages does that bring to Solana users or to Solana as an ecosystem? And I'd like to know, maybe from Whoa Damn It, some context. Are you talking about, because they have USDC on Sol, but like having, I'm assuming here we're talking about a native stable coin, you know, just for the purpose of benefits and drawbacks. What would the benefits be, Alex?
Having their own, like, not USDC?
No, I mean, like, yeah, like not USDC or their own, because I mean, you can get Tether on Sol, you can get USDC on Sol,
Yeah.
but
That's
they
a
made their
very-
own. Whoa, damn it, said they made their own. So let's talk about what are the benefits of I made my own stablecoin. Stablecoin Lord.
Yeah.
now.
That's an interesting question. So, you know, to take it from the top down, obviously in general, you want a stablecoin in every possible ecosystem because it makes it safer to keep money there. If you don't have stablecoin options and you would like to be in an ecosystem, but you're not feeling holding the native currency because it is volatile and you know, whatever, you got to leave the ecosystem if you don't want to hold that. So stablecoins allow money to stay there. They help TVL. They overall improve the health of the ecosystem. They increase the velocity of money over there. They make it easier to buy and sell and do stuff, whatever. You have a safer option. As far as buying their own, if I'm guessing here as to, because that's an interesting question. I don't know that I could confidently say like, oh, it's because XYZ. Evan, I don't know if you have an answer like that, but
Finding out.
My gut would say, well, one, it's always nice to have other options. Two, USDC is obviously, you know, a product of Circle, a different company that is not Solana. So it would be beneficial to have something with a little bit more in-house or community control, things that you can do different stuff with. For example, you could totally build a protocol on Solana that offers higher yield on Sol-based USDC, but you would be paying for that whole thing. So if you wanted to sort of inspire more usage of the Solana ecosystem and you made your own stablecoin over there, you could kind of build, you know, your own yield, your own DeFi experiences, set your own yield, all that sort of stuff, and keep it all in-house because you could control production of it and, you know, the minting rate and all that sort of stuff. So I would imagine it's more versatile to have your own. You're not beholden to a product launched by a separate company that, you know, lives on every blockchain like Circle with USDC. That'd be my guess.
Now let me give you some context here on this too. Check this
Please.
out. So it's this is launched by Solayer, which if you're not familiar, it's like SOLAyer, Solayer, you know, play on Solana. Probably a company to know if you're interested in the Solana ecosystem. They launched, and all the headlines are calling it an RWA-backed stablecoin. Smart choice for the headlines to get some clicks, right? They announced the launch of SUSD, a real-world asset-backed stablecoin on the Solana blockchain. Derives its value from a diversified basket of low-risk assets, starting with U.S. Treasury bills. The article claims this makes it different from all other stablecoins. Solana developed a bridge between TradFi and crypto. Solayer did, with its tokenization platform Open Eden, also a name to know if you're interested in Sol, interested in real-world assets. This is a play for crypto native investors to enter government bonds for just $5. And so this is interesting to me because it's a non-custodial platform. You can mint and redeem SUSD yourself. So there's no intermediary institution involved controlling supply. And it looks like there is a yield paying function that automatically pays returns in USDC to holders, the way a savings account would pay you interest. And it also enables instant redemption to USDC. So I think that's an interesting integration. First of all, backed by, you know, treasury bills and other stuff like that. That makes sense. We like stablecoins that are backed by something and not just math. And it's interesting that they are creating this bridge to USDC. USDC's got some deep liquidity. There's high volume for USDC on Sol. The transfer of stablecoins every day, we're talking billions. And in the last month, the total volume of stablecoin transactions has reached the $2 trillion mark. And of course, that's established players. But
In the last how long?
The last month, the total volume, 2 trillion a month.
Yep.
So interesting to know. Lots of thoughts about why they might be getting in, what they're getting in with. And if you want to learn more, I would definitely check out Solayer and Open Eden.
You know what's
those are
cool?
the best places. I don't know, man. The snail who lives on my porch. What?
Well, yeah, but do you remember the last time you looked at 24-hour volume and Tether wasn't number one?
No, I can't remember that time.
Because Bitcoin is number one right now.
Is it really? Wow.
My dad can beat up your dad.
By
Good job, Bitcoin.
By over $10 billion in 24 hours.
Wow.
51.6 to 41.7 or 0.3, sorry.
Gosh. Well, and don't sleep on stablecoins, people.
Yep.
Stablecoins are the proof in the pudding.
For the
they are
record,
proof
though,
in the pudding.
just to put this out there, because I know that one of the hot topics lately has been ETH and ETH performance and ETH potential. And ETH ETF drama, because those ETFs are wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
Ethereum is number 3 in 24-hour volume by a giant margin, like compared to number 4. So for context, 24-hour volume ranking, Bitcoin number 1 at 51.6 billion. Tether number 2, usually number 1, 41.35 billion. ETH 23.5. Next is Circle or USDC at 8.6. So there is still like tremendous volume.
And I'm curious that, we get a comment down here. This is a really good point. That doesn't even include OTC volume.
Correct. That is correct. Yes. That's a very important distinction that I should have said. This is like open market trade volume. Does not include OTC.
That isn't. I'm looking for a news story to help us understand why ETH had such high volume.
For anyone curious, just in case you're not familiar with the term, OTC would be the difference between me buying some Bitcoin on Coinbase. That volume gets tracked in the overall 24-hour trade volume for Bitcoin. But if I Venmo Evan and Evan sends me Bitcoin, that's an over-the-counter trade between me and Evan that is fee-free, and we set the parameters for.
Yeah.
And that volume would not be counted, even if I bought $1 billion in Bitcoin from him, over the counter. So OTC, over the counter, it just means privately facilitated sale either through a specific broker or person to person.
And I can't really find anything particular about why.
I mean, if you pull here, hold on, I can do you one better. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, what the hell? Maybe I spoke too soon. I thought for sure that there's got to be just a chart, right? Something's got a chart for me that just tracks.
Somebody's got a chart. I
volume.
mean, I don't know. Maybe we're in the surge. Do you know about the dank sharding 5 phases, Alex? Or anybody? This is fun. The surge. So you may have been here when Ethereum completed what it called the merge, a transition from proof of work to proof of stake. But what you may not know, and is a fun piece of trivia, is that is actually stage 1 of many such stages described in their so-called dank sharding process, the road to get these features. The merge is probably the most scientific and articulate of them. Then the merge will be followed by the surge, the scourge, the verge, the purge, and finally, for everything else, the splurge.
Oh my God. There's no way this is real.
Dank sharding. That's so real. It's so real, man. It's as real as it gets. As real as cancer. It's wild, right? Only a bunch of degens.
Couple questions about over the counter.
Yeah.
Machinery asks, why would you do it? Pros and cons. Yeah. So it's just more consistent. Like Evan and I. Let's just keep with the Evan and I example here.
Yeah.
Evan is a company that has a lot of money, and their company, Evan, would like to buy Bitcoin. I have a shitload of Bitcoin. Evan is looking at, trying to get board approval to make this purchase and blah, 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 blah. And we negotiate a price. And it's like, okay, hey, the price is kind of ranging up and down a few percent right now. Let's just make a deal that we're going to start negotiation here, and we're going to lock in a price at $70,000, $71,000. Whenever you see like headlines about, so and so MicroStrategy, whatever, buying Bitcoin, usually it has like a very exact price target, and that's because it's an over-the-counter trade that they've agreed with whoever is selling them the Bitcoin. Like, hey, we're going to pay you this rate. Might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower than whatever the current market price is. That's the big pro, that you remove the risk of like in transaction volatility, because these things take a little bit of time to negotiate. Evan, why are you cheesing so hard over there?
Because somebody said make Evan BlackRock. So in this scenario, now I want to buy a bunch of Bitcoin from Alex, but now I'm BlackRock. Okay.
Okay. All right. So Evan Rock over here is trying to buy a bunch of Bitcoin. So that's the other thing too, is that like if you were to buy $1 billion and there's any kind of like scaling fee on purchasing that thing, it's going to be obscene. So when you make a deal with someone over the counter to purchase, you don't have to pay a fee. You would negotiate
Alex is going to
terms.
Be content to receive a lower fee than Coinbase will.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm selling the Bitcoin. So like it is in my interest to make a good deal for Evan, because I want him to buy it from me specifically at the price that we agree on.
Well, and Glenn Rugju, just in the comments, perfectly concisely said, if in the process of buying so much Bitcoin at a certain price, I'm using the market, I'm going to rug myself. Yeah. Because the price is going to go higher and higher and higher, because I'm buying a ton of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's another good. This is the reason that I always tie it back, because I cannot pass up an opportunity to throw a little salt. This is why XRP doesn't make sense, because when people are doing like over the counter doesn't have a limit. Like Evan and I could buy $20 in Bitcoin from Evan right now using Venmo, and he could send me $20 worth of Bitcoin. That would be an over-the-counter trade. There's no like limit. That's kind of the beauty of Bitcoin. Like it can be whatever. It's a peer-to-peer thing. As long as he and I agree, that's the only thing that matters. But there's also no ceiling. So like if a company or if a country, a government wants to acquire Bitcoin for whatever purpose, they're going to want to use over-the-counter just because it's easier for both parties involved. It removes some of that, some of that unknown, some of that volatility risk. That's really the only and the biggest pro. And then, it just kind of gets you into this thing, like giant companies don't just like hope. Governments don't just hope. They plan and they know, and they set parameters for deals before they execute, which is why using a volatile token for cross-border payments makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
because it would never work.
Miss me with that. Yeah. Okay, you mentioned Ethereum's price. So since I'm BlackRock now, I do want to talk a little about ETH price. Why are we seeing all this stuff? Everybody's ready for the prices to take off. They're wondering if their bags are like packed already, and they're really starting to ask in the comments, like, is it too late to buy this? Too late to buy this? Too late to buy this? But I've seen what about ETH several times. So let's talk what about ETH. I think we've talked about before, so I'll be concise and kick it to you, that ETH is struggling right now from an ETF that lacks staking. That sucks for them. They are struggling from a world where institutions want to buy the Bitcoin ETF. They are struggling in a world where there are so many layer twos that are, one, taking volume and fees from them and promising to like, that's good for you, ETH, but really it's not. Right now, in this iteration of their life, it's kind of extractive, and the community is very torn. The ETH native community. Half the people in the ETH community are like, don't worry, we're playing 100+ year game. All of this volume and activity is going to be good for us in the long run. And then the other half are like, no, you fool. All this activity is bad because the L2s are going to extract value. They're going to take away your users. And then nobody is going to want to add more to the layer one chain. And eventually it will become less secure. And the environment that has made it such a good ecosystem for the future internet will shrivel and die. And then we'll just move to another chain. So ETH is having a bit of a moment right now. I don't think it's going anywhere. It just is not. It's not doing things, as Bitcoin pokes it with a stick. Could it go up in value? Of course it could. It probably will. If Bitcoin continues to go on a tear and all the altcoins and the whole market goes up with it, it probably will. But it's having a real moment of identity crisis. For that reason, for me personally, the conviction I have around ETH is that it's an important player in an important game, and I use it all the time. So I always have some. And I accumulate more because I anticipate it'll be worth more in the future, and I'd like for my dollars to go farther. But as a speculator, I am tending to put more of my, like speculative horses in the Solana stable. I think Solana is where the activity and attention is among all layer ones right now. And if you're a gambling person, that's probably the horse to bet on. But that's me. I don't know. Alex, do you have a different observation or opinion on what's happening on ETH, or does that about do it for you?
No, I think
I am BlackRock after all.
Yeah, no, you are.
Who's that? Is Alex Michael Saylor? If I'm BlackRock, are you Michael Saylor? We're about to do a 100 million Bitcoin deal.
So, Machinery, there's no really right or wrong answer with this. If you don't give a shit about the pros of an OTC trade, you're not the target, and that's totally fine. Like, you can trade however you want. The simple fact of the matter is that it is just, it's a peer-to-peer transaction between two people with no middle person. The fees can be whatever you two agree on. So just like you maybe, you have $1 million worth of Bitcoin to sell. If you use Bitcoin or Coinbase for it, they're going to take a hefty fee on that, even if you're selling. If you're buying it, they're going to charge you a hefty fee on that. So save that whole mess and just make a deal with someone that that wants to buy that much from you. That would be the benefit.
Yeah,
you're not pressing. It's a valid question. I mean, you're not pressing anything. Don't worry. If I didn't care, I wouldn't answer the question.
Yeah, totally. It's
Home Dad, you keep saying box, and I have no idea what you're talking about. You need to give me more than 2 words.
And regarding the comment about Solana stables, yes, I'm not talking about its price. I'm talking about the SUSD token. SUSD. Check it out. And then I'm so sorry to the person who asked about Aurora. Like I said, I really don't know about it. Alex doesn't know about it. Let us know what you think about it. Near is a really interesting ecosystem. I have met some of their people and liked them a lot. I am impressed at how they've managed to remain relevant and also grow, even as they pivoted what they're doing from last cycle to this cycle. I am pretty impressed. Hang on, I'm catching up. If you've got crypto questions, this seems like a good time to tell you. If you're waiting for the POAP, if you don't know what we're talking about when I say the POAP, today is the 200th episode of the Rise Up Morning Show.
Hey, man.
Wrong sound effect, not what I was going for. The 200th episode of the Rise Up Morning Show. And so we wanted to commemorate the occasion with a special digital collectible, an NFT known as a POAP, P-O-A-P, proof of attendance protocol, that you can claim for yourself at one of just a handful of tokens that mark the occasion that you were here with us when it happened. If you want to claim one, it's totally free. It's coming up in about 20 minutes. The claim will open and I will release the secret word. And what the hell? I'll tell you what the secret word is right now, but you won't be able to use it for another 20 minutes. And before I tell you the secret word, I will tell you, you need to use it at the POAP app. It's available on all app stores, Microsoft, Google, Apple, whatever. POAP Home, P-O-A-P Home. And you can find a link for it at POAP, POAP.xyz. POAP's the bookmark of your life. This show is not sponsored by POAP, but it absolutely could be.
It should be.
It should be. We're working on it. And the secret word that you will use to claim your POAP, when you open the app, you'll tap the little mint button in the bottom right corner. You will select secret word and you will type the following into the box. Proof dash in the, no space, dash pudding. Proof dash in the dash pudding. No spaces,
Evan,
all lowercase, proof in the pudding.
Evan likes to make the secret word as hard as humanly possible.
Let me tell you, POAP
likes to make first test.
POAP likes to make the secret word as hard as humanly possible. I just play by their rules. They wanted it to be like garden-live-education, and I was like, no one's gonna friggin' remember that. I gotta give them something they're at least gonna remember. Proof dash in the dash pudding. That's right. Tori put it there, except Tori's got a capital P, so all lowercase. Proof in the pudding. In 19 minutes, that claim will open. If you put it in right now, you're going to get an error message. But go ahead. This is a good time to navigate away. You should check out the POAP app because whether you're somebody who's like an OG crypto person or you're new to Web3, this is your opportunity maybe to collect an NFT for the first time with no risk, no cost. It's your opportunity to see how this kind of tech, I mean, Alex, we've talked about this a lot, is going to be, I think restaurants and car washes and everybody is going to be using NFTs and other kinds of tokens that are easy to claim, easy to give away. If you're somebody who wants to participate in like the future of the internet now, and you're always saying, well, what does crypto do beyond gambling and speculation? This is a simple proof of concept kind of example, and we love it, you know? That's all you got for me is...
Sorry, I'm doing two things at once.
Come on, man.
The Solana SUSD stablecoin is it's extremely new.
Yes, it is.
There's a question in the chat, Evan. You know, there's people here. There's people here asking questions. Christina also says, "Happy 200th."
Thank you, Christina.
I have to. I'll show you that in a second. She made me another crochet thing, and it's a fucking masterpiece.
Oh my god. I have no doubt.
Armageddon. I'm unsure about whether or not it's safer than or less safe than any other comparable stablecoins. It's certainly newer. So I would keep that in mind.
And if I wanted to investigate that question, I would see, you know, they say they're backed by treasury bills, but I would look for proof of reserves. How are they verifying that? Can you find it on a website anywhere? Bonus points if it's been audited by a third party. Bonus points if it's on chain somewhere and it's public accessible. And bonus points if it's big or diverse. You know, not just treasury bills, but also maybe dollars, I don't know, pieces of gold, I don't know, Bitcoin, other stuff. They say RWA backed. That could mean a lot of stuff. I'd want to look for the proof in the pudding. Take a bite. Exactly.
So, Carol, all you're going to do is open the app at 9:30 when it goes live. Tap Mint in the bottom right-hand corner. A little menu will pop up with all of the different options. You click secret word and then type in the secret word that we've shared. Proof.
That's right.
In the pudding, and we will put it we'll put it up here.
You want to put it up there? Okay. All right. Oh man, you're gonna make my job hard. Let me show you this one more time, Carol. This is for everybody on YouTube, Twitter. I'm so sorry you won't see this, but this, if you're on a phone, is what it will look like. You'll see a little menu. Alex, you got to narrate it because I'm far from my microphone. Tell them what they're going to see and what to do.
All right. So on TikTok, sorry, YouTube, Twitter, as you're opening the app, there's a little button down here. It says Mint. When you click it, this little menu will open. The middle one right there, secret word. You tap that and a little text box prompt will open and you type proof dash in the dash pudding. No spaces, all lowercase. Sorry, POAP hates us. And so the secret words are terrible.
That's right. If we can't get help from Tristan to do it or somebody, I will work with GPT to figure out how to manually get our POAP bot back, because that's such a good solution and it's so much better than any of the claim mechanisms they offer. I love you, POAP, but
for everybody curious about the Solana stablecoin, I have an article that I just shared in the general chat of the Discord if you'd like to read more about it.
Yeah, and it's backed by the company that launched it are SolLayer and Open Eden. So like it's not some stranger that we don't know. If you don't know them, you can check them out. They're goodly.
They're goodly.
Okay.
Relatively goodly.
Alex, take a question or two, or hang on. I'm gonna update this notice board.
Perfect.
To share the secret word.
Yep. Right below us here on Twitter, YouTube as well, I have the secret word and a banner for you. So if you're having trouble seeing it on TikTok, you can also pop over to the YouTube stream for a hot second and write it down. Okay, so there was a question. MetaMask address works. Yes, Boosh, you can send a POAP out of the POAP wallet that it creates for you to any address you want, or you can plug in any wallet you want if you'd like to connect a different one. If you use the POAP native wallet, it's completely free. They use the Gnosis blockchain. You do have to pay gas if you want to, send it out somewhere. Glenn asked, why is a Sol stable important?
Glenn, you had to come by earlier, man.
I love you, but you asked that like right after we finished a 20-minute tirade about why it's important.
The TLDR would be, it's good to have it's good to have liquidity. They have a relationship with USDC, your own native stablecoin. You got me all flustered, Glenn.
No,
Is
it's
it
just it's just a, you know, if you are an ecosystem that's that big with that many people and that much volume, it's probably in your best interest to have your own stablecoin, because then you're not beholden to the happenings and the goings on of a different company running their own product that touches a ton of different blockchains. Yes, surely, if you just search POAP, POAP on the App Store or the Play Store, whichever one you're on.
Yeah,
then
POAP
you'll
Home
find
will
it.
come right up.
POAP Home is the name of the new app. I still have both though, so they didn't like update it. They just made a different one.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Honestly,
know.
truly.
POAP kills me on a regular basis. POAP kills me. We love them. It's a very cool service, and I love like collecting NFTs to commemorate that I did things. But POAP, you guys are killing me consistently with just the way
Killing
that
you
you
softly
are.
with their song.
It is absolutely another income stream for Solana as well, because you can charge whatever you want when you set it up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
To create an account with POAP, all you do is download it, and I don't actually remember. I think you just an email address. You can make an account.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's like a click and a click and a click. You can also import an existing ETH wallet and ENS wallet if you have one.
It is very easy. Just open it up, and I'm sure that it prompts you. It's completely free. The only thing you will ever have to pay for with POAP is gas if you want to transfer your NFTs out after you get them, after you mint them.
Click mint and use the
All right,
secret.
let me scroll for a quick second here. But yeah, guys, you do have a few minutes. It goes live in 11 minutes, and it will be live for 10 minutes after that. I wish it could be longer, but again, POAP doesn't like us.
This is about this is
Okay.
about as good as my notice board's gonna be. I'm so sorry. They make editing this thing just absolutely onerous.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, it's the worst. So when it goes live, listen. If you miss this, we'll do more POAPs. Don't fret. Don't sweat.
I mean, it's not bad. You did a good job.
All right,
it's up there.
It's fine. It's up there. That's the visit POAP. Click the you got it. And then send us your great crypto questions. Who will be live for 10 minutes? Khalil asks the POAP claim. And if you're curious about what the POAP claim is, I just can't help you anymore. I'm sorry. I love you.
You know what we should do, Evan? We should do a link to download POAP with a fixed supply, and just have one that is basically for people who couldn't figure out this one and just never got it, and it's the I missed the 200th POAP.
Yeah, we could do that. I could do that. I can make that available. I think I can make that available.
Nick asks, why is it called POAP? Because it stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol.
Because they said to themselves, what would be the easiest to pronounce but still clunkiest to understand name that we could use?
Machinery says we're trying to get the sponsorship. Hold it with the critiques. I've given these critiques to POAP in person at Consensus when I met them, and I was just like,
yeah,
you guys literally make a living out of breaking my balls. All right,
Joseph has a good question here real quick that I'll answer very quickly. What are Solana fees like? Solana fees are cheap, like pennies or fractions of a penny. The SOL that you have to pay to do a transaction is 0.00001 SOL. Very cheap. Where were you going to take it, brother?
Well, really quick, I'm going to answer my mom's question. Is our guest still coming? Yes, Dennis Porter will be here tonight for the After Dark show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. He will most likely be joining us on the StreamYard link. So if you want to see him in all of his glory, you're going to have to probably watch on YouTube. But sound will obviously go to TikTok. We will be live here on TikTok. You'll be able to hear and experience the whole thing over here as well. So no sweat if you can't make it to YouTube.
You're laughing at Glenn?
I'm laughing at Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what the POAP people look at you like.
All right, you got to see this thing.
Yeah, let me see this thing. Okay, hang on, and let me properly hype it up over here. Let me give you a little.
All right.
Wait. Let me expand this. What are we looking at?
Someone knows.
Oh my God. Is this your demon?
It is a demon of sorts, yes, but it's a very specific demon.
Oh my God.
It's a very specific demon.
How did she get his little tail?
That's the tail. This is his
Wait,
whip.
oh, he's got a whip?
He's
Oh
holding
my
a
God.
flame whip.
Oh my God.
Someone
Christina.
definitely knows who this is or what this is.
And you
It's a very-
don't expect it to be me, man. Who is it? Introduce me. What's his? Is
Made famous from an iconic bridge scene. Ruzen got it, wherein
Oh
a
my
wizard
God.
slammed a staff down and said, "You
This-
shall not."
This is the
pass."
Balrog. This is the Balrog.
This is the Balrog of Moria.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
Just casually Balrogging.
That
How long did it
is
take her to make
wild.
it? Not as long as you think. She busted. This thing has so many different pieces that are all like sewn together. Like the legs are made individually. There's like a wire skeleton through everything. So like, all of it's posable.
Oh my
The little,
God.
I know she said the little fire mohawk was awful. This thing obviously, like, so the fire mouth is like an underlay, and then this little face mask goes like over that, and it's all sewn together. It's crocheting the little tiny fingers. I don't know. She could tell you
Yeah.
way better than I
Can
can.
we get a close up on the TikTok camera of the hands specifically and the feet? Like, cause yeah, that's wild.
He's got little hooves. There are little split toes.
Yeah, the
But yeah.
wings are great.
Oh yeah, she crushed it.
Wow. Yeah. That is absolutely. Yeah. Whoa, damn! It says add to cart. Listen, Kim, every time she sees one of Christina's creations, says we have got to figure out a way to get her to, take like 5 or 6 commissions a year, and you guys would be
Yeah.
rich.
Here's the problem with it, because I tell her this all the time, and someone always asks, like, every time she wears one of her sweaters out, you can't like assembly line crochet. It's all hand done.
Alex,
So like,
I'm
what's up?
sorry to interrupt you, but hold it up again because Kimberly's lurking and she's got to see it. Look on the big screen over here. I'm gonna blow it up. Look at this thing. Have you seen Lord of the Rings, baby? She made Alex look at that. Look at that. She said, I haven't seen it enough to know what it is, but just look at that thing.
It's the Balrog.
It's got a wireframe skeleton. It's got a fire mohawk. No, that's its fire whip. Show her its tail. Show her from the back.
He does have a beefy
A
tail.
beefy tail. She says you're sitting on millions and millions of dollars. Alex, why isn't it feasible though? Because everything's handmade.
Everything is handmade. Yeah. So
Yeah.
quick tip: if you see like crocheted sweaters at like Forever 21 for $8, those were handmade by essentially a slave. You can't assembly line crochet stuff. They're all handmade. There's no machine that makes crochet. So
Yeah.
the problem, because I didn't show the beehive either.
Sorry.
I gotta go.
I
get
don't
that
think
thing.
you've shown the beehive. You got to show the beehive while we're inching closer to the POAP distribution time. You got to show the beehive. Join on your phone and you'll be able to hear. Because yeah. Everybody's like, who the hell are you talking to right now? You sure you don't just want to come? Yeah.
So she heard me say it, and she was bringing the beehive out.
Yeah, the beehive is a favorite, and I want to set the context for this beehive because if you saw the picture, Christina entered this in a fair to win a blue ribbon, and in the case next to it were like the yellow and red ribbon winners, and it was like a sweater and a blanket that were fine. Like you remember, they were fine, but like, can you imagine being one of those grannies who knitted a sweater and seeing this with little bees?
With the queen and the worker and the baby bees and pots of honey.
The pots of honey, yeah.
And they're all like removable. So like little bees that live in here. The first thing she said when she saw it on display at the fair was like, they put the bees in the wrong honeycomb.
Exactly.
But
That is so amazing.
yeah, this took a long time. And not only did she win first place in her category, but took home, of course, the old Effingham County Fair grand champion.
The grand champion. Of course she was the grand champion.
Obviously.
Nick Johnson says she must have so much patience.
Yes.
Oh, damn it. That woman has skills. Yeah,
She-
definitely skills.
She does have skill. The problem is because she's made a few like baby things for little Gianova, Mac's daughter. She made like the hungry caterpillar is this like big bag of a caterpillar, and then she individually crocheted all of the food items from the book, and you can stuff them into the caterpillar and make him eat everything. She did like
Yeah, that was wild.
this fishing game where like all the fish are in little color coded cups, and it has a little fishing pole with a magnet on the end, and you can catch the fish and put them in the appropriate cup. The problem is that it takes forever. So if she were to charge like even minimum wage for herself for doing all of that, it would be the cheapest thing would be hundreds of dollars. So like you'd buy a sweater for $1,000 to like make it make sense in time, like time wise, and also materials wise, and all. So it's just like not practical, which is why everyone who has a business with crochet sells patterns for other people to make things, not like the actual things. Because otherwise, I mean, like if you want me to price this appropriately, you got to pay like several $1,000s at least to make
She
it
can still
even
do a
slightly
limited
worth
drop,
it.
Kim says. A limited drop. One
Sure.
per year, 2 per year. Like Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Don't announce it, just drop it.
just
And one beehive. There you go. There you go. Christina, we're working on it. The 6-figure stitcher.
Kim's got to do the pictures though, because the best that we get is like me on my phone.
She says totally, as long as I get a free crochet item out of it. Okay. We're at 60 seconds until the Poe app drops. So everybody make sure you've got your app at the ready. You get your fingers at the ready to type in the secret word proof in the pudding. Proof dash in the dash pudding. Only 2 dashes. In the is one chunk. Proof dash in the dash pudding.
Yep.
No
so
spaces.
all of the, if you're on TikTok, everything you need to know is right up here. You do have 10 minutes, so don't panic. And then on YouTube, it's right here. Here's the secret word. All right. Well, thanks for coming to the crochet. Thanks for coming to the crochet show.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for posting it again. And Paul has an interesting thought that we could just tokenize it. Why not just tokenize it?
No, we totally should.
And then you could sell 10,000 of them, and everybody could have the beehive for a day.
POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, and it's an NFT minting platform where you can mint an NFT to commemorate the fact that you did a thing by putting record of the thing you did on chain forever. Honestly, that's why I think NFTs are the coolest thing of all time. Not because of like, limited PFP drops, but because you can just, if literally anything is important to you, you can turn it into an NFT and have one to commemorate it. And all the proof of the thing is like written into the code of the NFT itself, and it exists forever. You can't accidentally, flush it down the toilet, or your dog can't eat it, or
Homework
so
NFTs,
cool.
man.
NFTs are so freaking cool.
NFTs are so cool. There's no doubt about it. Well, then let's do this. Since we got to go claim our NFTs, we got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Let's do some of our final thoughts, and let's invite everybody to share their final thoughts. And I will say, as a final reminder, be sure to come back for Rise Up After Dark, or check it out later on YouTube. If you can't, no problem. I get it. You all are here a lot, and we love having you here. You're the best part of the show. But you definitely want to bookmark this conversation with Dennis Porter. We think it's going to be great, very timely. The election is coming up, and we would love to have your input in the conversation. If you want to check him out, he's easy to find on Twitter, on YouTube. Alex, did you just dip out of TikTok to go get the Poe app? All I have is a giant notice board now, and the loss of
I don't know why it kicked me. I just swiped away for a second.
We still have your voice though. Do you want to tell
back.
me? I'll bring you back for sure. But tell me why you're coming back. Is everybody's getting their Poe app, which I love. Oh, that's so weird. It says you're here.
Weird.
This is wild. Okay, hang on.
I'm now in the twilight zone.
Reconnect you. Yeah, Alex has been absolutely lost. Oh man, fake Calvin is in here.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
I love how whenever I disconnect from the live on TikTok, it's like, now go do this one, and it's just like random people I've like never met. Join this live. There's one viewer. No.
That's so weird. I disconnected you, and now it's saying you're still here. So
Well, I
So,
tried to
Alex, just
request again. How
yeah, that's
embarrassing.
okay. we can hear you though. Do you have a final thought, good joke, word of wisdom, suggestion, question, complaint for the show?
Sure. Yeah. I'll keep it briefer than my last final thought, because I think my last final thought was a world record, like 15 minutes long.
It was like a 3-parter though.
It was a good one. Yeah, it was three. I don't know. 3's being generous. I think I had more like 7 or 8. All I'll say today is that just remember that crypto is for everyone. And if you're going into this election with a bunch of panic, wondering about who's going to win and what it's going to mean for your bags, just remember that we have had essentially an adversarial and hostile governing body for basically the entire time that crypto has existed, and look where we've come. Look where we are. One administration is not going to make or break. It's extremely likely that the only volatility really comes from this thing starting, the election happening, and then the initial and then it's all going to go back to normal and progress as it always has, because let's be honest, how much faith do we have that Congress is actually going to pass something in a timely fashion? It's not going to happen. All we're going to get is a bunch of platitudes and rhetoric from whoever's in office about whatever. So let's just all take a breather. Let's just remember that there are a lot more things at stake than just the sanctity of our bags. And don't panic, because crypto is going to be fine. Like I said, I always just try to focus on the fact that we have had a hostile governing body for almost the entire lifetime of this whole industry. And it's still here. We're still cruising. We're still innovating. We're still doing all these things. The fate of the industry does not just hang in the balance of one election. So yeah, I'm very excited to have that conversation with a lot more context and a lot more information, a lot more behind the scenes stuff with Dennis tonight. This is his realm. This is his expertise. So it's going to be awesome.
Well said, man. I don't have anything to add to that. This is you can't see it now because you're off TikTok, but I have posted the illustrious art for the TikTok folks to preview that comes attached to your POAP. If you have questions about how to claim, or you can't do it this time, don't worry. We can get it figured out for you. If you're like Carol, she asked for a wallet address. Just copy and paste your ETH address, and you can load POAPs into your wallet. We will do more. Don't fret. If you get a fail, just retype the secret word, all lowercase, no spaces, proof dash in the no space dash pudding. If you can't get it, we'll figure out a way to get you in. We'll get you another POAP, and
we'll figure it out.
We'll be back tonight and then tomorrow. Same time, same place, 7 a.m. Join us with your questions. And then thank you in advance for being the best part of what we do. If you need to join the Discord, it's discord.gg/riseup, and anything else you need, you can send us there. Otherwise, my friends, thank you so much. Alex, you ready?
Evan, it's been a pleasure. Just my final thought is just to thank you for doing this with me for this long. I vividly remember streaming this show on Twitter as a Twitter space when we first started on episode number 1. I remember the conversation where you and I were finally like, why aren't we doing this? We've been talking about it for ages. Let's just fucking send it. And we streamed that bitch to absolutely nobody for weeks. And then we got Neil, and like Tori and Neil and all of you guys who have been here, like from the time when there were 2 or 3 people in the audience on Twitter to the time now where, several thousand people roll through every single episode. This is the coolest fucking thing ever. Yeah, I love doing this. And Evan, it would not exist without you. So thank you for all of the hard work that you do keeping this thing alive and running.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I often think back to that day that we got on a call. I was driving back from Michigan, and I was like, why don't we do a show? You've been saying it forever. Why don't we do a show? So
we had been too. It's embarrassing how long Evan and I talked about doing a show before we did a show.
But now we're doing a show, and we're 200 episodes officially deep, and we're really just getting started. So stay tuned for more. we'll be back and we'll keep going. We will, as we say, rise up together. So, my friends, thank you very much. Thank you, Alex. Until next time, everybody, rise up.
Bye-bye now.